IPL Radio.
And it's just gone 10 past 1. And as promised, we have a special guest in the studio. So Georgia Tingly, how you going?
I'm good, thank you.
Do you want to just introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Georgia Tingly. I'm an author of, firstly, I started out writing paranormal, romance, suspense, or thrillers. And then from there, I went to just writing contemporary romance.
How long have you been writing for?
5 years.
Yeah.
So cool. I used to work, as everybody else does, in a normal job. And then I got...
What's normal?
Well, office work.
Oh.
This isn't normal. This is artistic, what you guys do. But I mean, normal office 9 to 5, crappy sort of job. But they were making people redundant. It was in the oil and gas industry, and they were going through this, drama at that time. They're making everyone redundant, and they offered me a redundancy. And I took it because I had this at the back of my mind since I was in my 30s and I was now in my 50s of something I needed to do.
You had that calling, eh?
I did, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I did. I've always been writing things but putting it in my drawer at home, tucking it away, and then I thought, yeah, I'm going to do it.
What made you start writing in the first place?
Being avid reader. I think a lot of writers are avid readers and then think, I could do this, or they're not writing what I want to read.
Mm.
Okay.
So you started writer as writing for yourself as the reader kind of thing?
Yeah, that's right. They weren't writing what things that I wanted to read, or I couldn't find them anyway. It probably is out there, but I couldn't find that at that time because that was like pre-internet.
Yep.
So if you wanted to find something, you had to go to the bookshop or the library.
Those good old days.
Yeah.
They were great days.
They actually were.
I used to love my library.
Yeah.
I used to spend many hours in there.
Me too.
Yeah.
And the book exchange too. I used to always go. I'd have a big pile. I remember being excited with my sister. We'd go and we'd get a whole pile of books and come home and spread them all out and go, which one will we read first?
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So when you took on this new adventure to become an authoress, did you undertake any training? Did you do a course or something?
Yes, I did. I had done courses all from my 30s, I suppose.
wow.
So I used to live in the country, and I belonged to the Isolated Writers of Australia Club, I guess you could call them, where we would exchange through snail mail things that we'd written to each other, and then they would critique it, send it back to me. And then I did, with the Australian School of Journalism, I did a creative writing course, and I also did something that Romance Writers of Australia had, which were just little courses and things like that. But I really am always doing courses because there's that many online courses available now. I've just finished one because I wrote a book, and every time, my first book actually, which was this one here called Justice, which was a suspense one.
You want to just hold that up again?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Sorry. And it's a suspense novel, but it had a paranormal, angelic being in it who solves a 40-year-old mystery. And every time people read it, they'd say to me, that would make a great movie. So this year I sort of took time off and did probably 2 courses on screenplay writing, how to adapt your book into screenplay. And then I want to enter in some competitions in the USA because they're all judged by people looking now, because there's that many online streaming, companies that are searching for things to produce. Yeah.
Yeah. A new product.
Yeah, that's right.
A new product, something that we can sell and will be big bucks and
Exactly.
all that. That's the
That's exciting.
The next blockbuster.
Yeah, so that's right. So a lot of them are actually judges in these competitions. Yep. So I think, oh, what the hell?
Why
It's
not?
worth it. Yeah.
Well, that's what you did when you took your redundancy. You thought, what the heck, didn't you?
Yeah.
And look where you are now, 5 books later.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I mean, if lots of times I throughout my life, I thought, yeah, I'll do it. But, you chicken out because you just don't have that confidence in yourself, and you think, you read Stephen King books and you think, I could never write like that.
But there's a lot of work. I mean, people just see the finished product, but there's a lot of work that goes into that, isn't there?
Tons of work. I mean, most novels take, I know some people can churn them out, but generally speaking, I think most novels would take a year to produce, because you by the time you write it, especially if you're working and writing, like you've got a full-time job as well.
Do you feel like some writers are, I don't know if the word possessive is right, but like very connected to the words that you've written? So when you have to edit it, it makes it hard because you're so connected to what you've written. Did you find that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that's your baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare you, criticize my baby?
Yeah. Do you have like 2 or 3 people that proofread them? And
I did. What I did was I finished writing it and left it then for 2 weeks and went back to it and self-edited myself.
Yeah.
Then I sent it out to what they call beta readers, which are test readers really. And I picked 8, actually, 4 authors that I knew and 4 just regular people who are readers, because I wanted to hear from people who read in that genre too, but aren't, authors that will pick up on grammar and things like that.
A genuine reader.
Exactly. To see where the entertainment value is, not so much from a writer's perspective. And so that's what I did. And when feedback came back from basically a few of them saying the same thing, I knew, okay, I got to change that. Because if it was just one odd person saying it, but if there's,
there's some consistency.
say 6 out of 8, then you go, yeah, okay, there's a hole there in the story. So I changed it. Then the 2 things you really do need to pay for is a book cover designer and an editor, because a professional editor just irons out all the little errors and they know what they're doing.
Can you just hold up each book to the
Yes.
camera up there so we can have a look at the front cover?
so
So
this was Justice.
Yes.
that Justice one, that
Yeah.
that
To
really,
the camera there.
It's
that's a very powerful
Isn't
image,
it?
isn't it?
Cover.
It's a great cover, yeah. It actually won in the USA. I entered in a competition for best cover and blurb, and they had to vote. People had to vote for it, and it came first.
Congratulations. But I
thanks.
can understand why. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
it is, yeah. So that was
So
that.
is that a
Awesome.
photo or is it a painting? Or
You can buy stock photos,
okay.
and then I sent it to a cover designer who then took the basic photograph and added all the things I wanted. Like I wanted him to wear chainmail, I wanted him to be holding the sword, I wanted the sword to have the little Knights Templar emblem on it.
Yeah,
And
it's a very powerful image.
yeah. So the story is about an angel that comes down and rights a wrong that's in the world. And I've got the second book that was in that, An Unholy Gift. Okay, so it's the same character in it. And
So it's
that's
like a sequel?
yeah. Although you can actually read it as
Yeah.
separate, but it is a sequel. It's the same character. And I've got a 3rd book coming out too. So I haven't written it yet. I've just got it here in my head. But yeah, it's going to be coming out soon. So that's those 2 in that series. And then I decided there's not enough romance for mature women. There's a
Okay.
lot of romance for, college students and young people in their 20s, but no one older than that. So I brought out this series called Mature Love, which was women over the age of 35 to 40. So this woman was 40. This woman's 40. Because I feel like they've gone through, when women are in their 40s, they really know what they want. They've gone through divorce. They've got kids. They've gone through numerous relationships probably by that stage. So
we finally got our act together.
yeah, exactly.
Practice makes perfect.
So having faith.
Yeah, having faith. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I wrote that one. And then the second book in that Mature Love was All the Dumb Things. It's really about a woman who's 40, has done a lot of dumb things in their lives. Pretty much based on the Paul Kelly song. My sister, I'm very close to my sister. I'm an identical twin. So
Okay.
we always talk about things. And the weird thing is, I've been in a long-term relationship. She's been through lots of relationships. So her theme song was "I've done all the dumb things." So I said, I'm going to write a book about that, and I did.
Oh, is there some true stories in there?
No, they're not true
No,
stories.
no.
Damn.
Not at all.
If there were, she wouldn't tell
But
us.
No.
they're probably based on things that have happened to, lots of women, lots of
Yeah.
men too. I mean, it's not something that's just geared for.
Oh, we've done dumb things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do them all the time.
I still do.
of course.
No.
And what's the fifth one?
And the fifth one is I brought out a Christmas novella, which was a romantic comedy, actually.
Oh,
So with a Christmas theme, and it actually won Romantic Book of the Year for novellas with the Romance Writers of Australia, which was a bit of a feather in the cap because there were 87 entrants in my category, and they were judged by not just people who vote in who like you or know you.
Mm.
It's judged by people in the industry, so agents, publishers,
Oh, that's cool.
things like that.
It's a real credible, meaningful
Yeah,
award.
it's more
Absolutely.
It's more legit.
Yeah.
It's more legit.
Congratulations.
You got
Yeah.
more people in there. It's not your friend,
Thank
your
you.
mate going, "Oh, vote, vote, vote."
Yeah,
vote.
exactly. Because there is a lot of things that
Yeah.
hey, vote for me.
I won this, yes, and my whole family and extended family voted for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do
that
you
would-
have confidence now? So you've obviously done really well, five books in. Do you
Um,
have the confidence that you weren't sure about to begin with?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do have confidence, but at the same time, I don't want to be big-headed about it because at the end of the day, it's all about sales, and you do have to spend a large chunk of money on advertising to make a tiny bit.
Yeah, it's a hard business, isn't it?
Yeah, I think anything in the arts, whether it be an art, painting as in an artist like that, or sculpture, or music.
Yeah, you're looking at me straight away.
There you go. It's so the industries are just so hard to break into,
Oh,
and
that's it, right.
there's only you just hear of the J.K. Rowlings that make millions, but
Yeah.
generally,
That's pretty.
nearly every author out there isn't.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to be in that circumstance, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it was definitely worth taking the redundancy then.
Well, I think so. Of course, it was. I'd have to say that, don't
Yeah.
I? But yeah, because I do actually love writing.
At the end of the day, this is like food for your soul.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
You spend that time. I know what it's like to create things and everything, so it's great.
Yeah.
And you're leaving. It might be a big word to say, but you're leaving a legacy behind.
Yes.
It's this is what I've left for you guys. This is what I've done. you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And not just that, it's filling that what if
Yes.
Yeah.
dream,
Yeah.
What if I don't do it?
It's amazing.
It would be nice to think that the two books there, you've got the Justice and the Unholy Gift, will end up as blockbuster movies. And
Oh,
I think a lot
would
of the
be
Hollywood
awesome.
like the trilogy thing, because then they can get 3 movies out
And
of
I've
one.
seen a lot
Yeah.
of because I like that kind of like paranormal
Me
Mm.
too.
and stuff, and I like Jennifer Love Hewitt as well. So she's played in a couple of those as well.
Yeah.
But they're really in.
They're very in right now.
They're
Yeah.
very in.
The whole fantasy things of, like The Witcher,
Yes.
that type of thing, they're really
Really
big.
popular.
Yeah, not that that's fantasy, but I guess it kind of falls into that because it's an angelic being that comes down and rights a wrong.
And you've got another one coming out for Christmas, have you?
Oh, that-
Or is that
That's
that's
the
what-
Christmas one.
Oh,
that
okay.
I
So it's
wanna
already out then?
promote. It is all already out. It
Yeah.
came out in 2020.
Okay. Yep.
But because it's the season,
Yeah.
I'm just promoting it.
Yeah,
That's all.
absolutely.
But yeah, no, I have taken a year off and haven't written. I wrote a couple of stories that were in anthologies.
Mhm.
So one was in. I actually created this anthology called Perfectly Paranormal,
Ooh,
Right.
Okay.
and so it was a perfectly paranormal Valentine. So all the stories for Valentine. Then the next one was a perfectly paranormal Halloween, and so forth, right? But I know I created it and then I quit out of it. So the girls that are in it, they're still doing it.
Mm.
You know, I gave them my blessing, gave them the name because I had created the idea and the name and everything, because I wanted to go on to do other things, and I felt that was taking up a lot of my time.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Do you have a favourite book out of the 5?
yeah, probably this one. I do at the moment.
I wouldn't expect that one out of all of them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect you to say that one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It was the one that I wouldn't expect to say. Yeah.
There's a lot of angst in this. That's why I think I like it, and because it's so it goes back and forth from the past. So we'll start like in 19. So it starts with present day, and then it goes back. Each chapter goes back to 1995 when she's 16 years old, and then the next chapter jumps to present day. So 16-year-old was when she lost her virginity and her first relationship. Then it goes back to present day and how she's 40 and she's thinking, I'm giving up on love because nothing's worked out because of that, all the dumb things. Then it will jump back to her next relationship and the other dumb thing she did. And then it goes back to present, and then back keeps jumping back and forth.
Cool.
So that was very hard to write because I had this. Yeah, it was. I had this big spreadsheet of all the timelines and the characters, because there were so many characters and what was happening. So I didn't make the mistake of, well, she did that then.
Yeah.
You know.
There was almost guaranteed there would be some reader that would pick that up, wouldn't there?
Yeah,
if you made a mistake.
I have had a reader pick up something. A reader said to me, no, they didn't say to me. They just, it would be great if they did say it to me, but they don't. They just write it up on Amazon. And because some of the romance books are quite steamy and sexy. And this one, it doesn't look like it is, the Christmas one. So some person probably from the Bible Belt in America said, it was such filth.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Do you know what? I reckon that triples your readership there.
I think
bang,
so,
bang,
yeah.
bang, bang.
That was a good marketing tactic.
Write more.
Absolutely.
Go for
it was filth. And,
you filthy animal.
and she put the name Texas, you know, so I figure, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Bible Belt and things.
Does it have a rating? Like,
I did actually put in the front. Well, I don't think I put it here, but on the when you go to buy it, it says this book contains, you know, steamy sex scenes. If this offends you, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she didn't read that.
I'm in now.
No.
I'm like,
Yeah. Leave us a copy, won't you?
Oh, that's great.
That sounds
Yeah.
cool.
So, you know, I didn't start out to write this sort of books, but I feel like in this modern day, I mean, look, I grew up with Mills and Boon, where they had a kiss at the last page, and you were like, whereas, but modern day, you can't really have a relationship without getting into the.
And you saw the
Bump and
success
grind.
that 50 Shades of Grey had, and another 50 Shades of Grey, and another 50 Shades of Grey, or whatever.
They've obviously found that they've got a niche there and milking
well,
it.
It's interesting
That's right.
because of all the dumb things. You said you were 16 in 1995. Well, I was 16 in 1995.
Oh my God!
You identify with the book,
That's
right?
So I think I'll have to. That'll be the first read. I think I'm going to check that one out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think because why it was my favorite was because I put so much in, you know, into it.
Oh yeah! Now how you explained it.
Yeah.
Or just what
The time.
the OCD would.
Did you
call
ever
it.
get did you ever get to a point you go, why did I decide to write it in this format, or was it always going to be in that more challenging format?
No, I think about it a lot when I'm lying awake, you know, at night. I think I more or less plot it in my head, and I'm in the writing world, there is people called a plotter or a pantser, which is right by the seat of your pants, and they just sit down and start writing. I am not. My books look like one of those cop movie crime scenes
Okay.
I've got a whiteboard with everything marked out and do this spreadsheets, and I'm a real list maker.
Yes, yes.
You know, so when I plan a book, I work it out in my head and then I write things down. Oh, yeah, then this happens, then that happens. So I pretty much I write like scenes instead of chapters. So I'll go, this happens first, then this happens, then this happens, then this happens. And then you have to throw in a subplot somewhere along there. And then you have to have a good climax and then a happy ending. Yeah.
That's fascinating. I've never really I've always wondered how everything goes together.
And each person's, you know,
Writes differently.
So what was
differently.
it? A
Plotter
Plotter.
or a pantser.
Pantser.
or a pantser?
Yeah. Which is what I mean, basically everybody is a little bit of both because you do have to do that. I mean, I've plotted something and then it hasn't worked out, so I've had to change it.
I suppose with the plotter that you've got that structure, and so
Yes.
you know where you're going. So your characters are never really going to surprise you, unless do you have that structure and then go, actually, no, we'll take it in a different tangent? Does that ever happen?
Yeah, it does actually. It happens because you say that you plan it this way, and then you go, no, that's a little bit boring. I need to throw something in there to make it more exciting. You know, like in this book, for instance, it was she had a relationship with a rock star, with a musician. Actually, I wouldn't say he was a rock star, a musician, and so you know, I had to have something that went bad in it because that was the dumb thing. And
whenever you go musicians, it's always going to be disaster, right?
don't say that.
It is. Musicians with musicians, that's
okay.
catastrophe.
Yeah.
Don't do
yeah,
it.
and the cheating thing, because they've got groupies or whatever, that's kind of
Cliche.
cliche. That's been done.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
sort of made it where she got attacked by one of the roadies.
Oh,
You know.
Okay.
So she had that bit of trauma in it, and that scene was pretty good actually to
Cool.
write.
And do you mix with other writers much?
All the time. Yeah, I belong to the Rockingham Writers
Yep.
Centre. I take a group called Aspiring Authors, which is once a month they meet, and I'm the coordinator, but I do kind of teach them how to, or guide them. I wouldn't say teach. It's not like a classroom, but they'll bring something and they'll ask my opinion, and I'll guide them to what I think. But you know, it's subjective. What one person likes, another person hates. What one person hates, another person will absolutely love.
So if you've got an idea for a book, how do you know it's a good one?
I run it past my daughters. I've got two daughters. They're not readers, but they are obsessed with Netflix romantic,
Sure.
you know, movies and rom-coms and things like that. They've probably watched every single one that's ever been made, I think. So they're both in their early 30s. And so I run it past them and they go, what do you think about this? I run it past my sister, my husband, my friends and writer friends, without giving away the plot in case they
Yeah, you don't want anyone pitching
steal my ideas. But, you know, then I go on to my computer and I write down all my ideas. So I've got a science fiction book I want to write. I've got a you know, vampire one. I've got a old westy one.
Ooh.
Yeah, and set in Western days.
Maybe you can combine all three.
I actually have.
That's my brain, you know.
Yeah.
I don't laugh. I actually have. The idea for the third one is actually going to be set in Western days. And he's a bounty hunter, but he's an angel come down to earth as a bounty hunter set in the Old West. But the woman is going to be a one of the mail order brides in the West.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but the bounty he's hunting is a demon. Yeah, so
I don't know
I don't
if
think
you
I-
yeah.
has that been done?
No, the
I
one
don't
I
think
saw,
so.
the one I saw lately, and I want to see again, was amazing was Abraham Lincoln, vampire,
Oh, wasn't it?
a vampire
okay.
slayer or something like that, vampire
Really?
killer.
Oh, wow.
I've seen it.
I loved it.
Me too.
I loved it, and I go, oh my god, I want to watch it again.
I thought, oh, this is going to be stupid, but it was great, wasn't it?
How they plotted it, how they did the screenplay, how they mixed everything in. I go,
Yeah.
oh my god, that was awesome.
And if you actually look at Abraham Lincoln's history of his life, it could very well be because you go, oh yeah, he was a lawyer and he was in a small town, and all
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
things
yeah,
sort
they-
of did fit in.
They did their research, and yeah, they just put things in
That's clever.
place.
That's really
It's
Crazy.
really good. Yeah,
We'll have to check that out.
check it out.
Oh, actually, I'm not really promoting movies, but if I watch, you know how you watch movies and you're so disappointed a lot
Yes.
of the time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Most of the
You
time.
know, 9 times out of 10,
Mhm.
you go, oh, yeah. Great movie is called Prey. I watched the other day. It's Predator, but set in Red Indian days.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
The
Oh, no, I've
cinema-
seen it. It's amazing.
Isn't it?
Is that a girl?
Yes.
Yes.
How good is it?
Yeah.
The acting was great.
Yeah.
The cinematography was great because it was filmed in Canada, so the scenery was just
Mm.
fantastic. But
Canada,
even the way they did the cinematography and everything, it was awesome, wasn't it?
It was very good and something different. Like,
Yeah.
it was really different.
yeah.
definitely
And I
worth
think that's what the
watch.
audience are looking for, is something that's not just,
Something that's unique.
yeah. Definitely.
So, what have you got planned for the new year? Have you got any ideas that you're working on at the moment, or?
Yeah, lots. So I'm writing that screenplay for changing that that book into a screenplay. So the competition closes in May. So I'm probably 1/3 into it.
So you're going to be
Yeah.
a bit busy.
Yeah. So I'll finish it off and then enter it in. And then, so I'll do that. Then I've got 2 books that I've already written, which were part of those anthologies, but I own them, so they're not part of it anymore. They were taken out. One is a Valentine one, which is a romance, but the main character is a witch. The second one is a Halloween story where he's a vampire, originally in Boston in the 1800s. And I don't want to give it away.
No, don't go.
But it then goes into the
So another
future.
time. Yeah.
Into the future, present day, because of course he lives for ages.
Mm.
He's immortal. So
Highlander.
yeah.
Such a boy.
There'll be only one.
And I've got and I'm going to write I already got it sorted out, a ghost one, which will be a probably, I'm thinking, I don't want to do Easter because Easter's such a boring holiday. It's great for kids.
Yeah.
It's not one of the bigger ones, is
No,
it?
no, maybe New Year.
It's
I'll do the
boring and
ghost.
it's a sad holiday. Come from my culture as well.
Yes,
Greg,
yeah.
it's a sad holiday.
Yeah.
Easter,
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it is absolutely. So maybe a ghost one that is New Year, and then the Western one that I'm writing, which is for that one, which is will be Christmas one. Right. So then I'll bring them all out, bang, 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 all right straight after each other, and then at the end they can buy it in a box set of all 4 books.
Oh, that's
Wow, that's really
Wow,
cool.
you have a big year ahead.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it probably won't be in the year ahead. It'll probably be in the next 2 years. But the Christmas one has to come out at Christmas, and the
Yes, yeah.
other one come out.
So, do you have who brings out the books?
Me.
Is
I'm
it
self-published.
self-published?
Yeah, I thought about going with traditional publishers, but they take a big chunk.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell me about
They
it.
take a big chunk, and you have to do all the work, not just writing, but promoting and
Yep.
publishing and
And also your editorial control, you're giving up to a lot of
Yes.
the publishers, particularly not so much because you've already got stuff published, but for someone that's never been published before, the power dynamic is with the publishers. So they might do lots of rewriting and then it's no longer your
They
work.
just buy it and they put it in that. It never gets released.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know,
that's true. Yeah,
You can have that. No, it's crazy, and they make you sign a contract and it says you got to give me 5 books in 3 years.
Yeah.
So
I
what's
don't know what you're going to do, but you
what's
got me 3 books. Three.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it
so
is.
what's the best way if someone would like to purchase one of your books? What's the best way to hunt you down?
To go to Amazon.
Amazon.
All the books are on Amazon.
Do you have a website at all as
Yeah,
well?
I do. GeorgiaTingly.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
They can go to there, and there's buttons there, obviously, that when you click buy here, it'll take you to the Amazon site to
Yeah.
buy it. So, yeah, Amazon, and I've got the couple of them. I think 3 of them are in the Kindle. Kindle does this thing where you pay for avid readers. You pay $30 a month, I think it is,
Yep.
and you can read unlimited. It's Kindle Unlimited, and the author gets paid. If someone reads 3 pages, I get paid for 3 pages. If they read the whole book, I get paid. So you get paid by
All right.
yeah.
Mm,
So that's how it
Interesting.
works. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Kindle's a new,
yeah,
Yeah.
new norm now.
yeah,
It's coming into
that's right.
like
So-
the ebooks as well, and the listening books, the audio books. the same.
Audible as
Yeah.
well. Audible's huge.
Yeah.
Are
it
you
is.
doing an Audible version of your
I'm
books?
not. No, not
No?
at the moment.
That might be something for the future, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, yeah.
I'm a terrible reader. I just don't have the attention span.
Yeah.
But I can listen to Audible and stuff like that. So that's my way around it.
used
Because I want to
yeah.
read, I just don't have the attention.
I used to have the attention. Now I don't.
Mm.
It's gone.
Oh, right.
So it's,
Okay.
I've changed to audio and visual a lot.
There's nothing better though than having a physical book and curling up
Oh,
with a
yeah.
Yeah.
hot chocolate and having a read, or if it's
Yeah.
summer, lying out and outside under the shade and just having a really good read.
I do like to read a lot of ebooks
Mm.
because when you're tired at night, you can make the font really big.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, wear your glasses or anything. Then you can change the lighting. If there's a word you don't know, you just hold your finger on it; it'll tell you what it is. So there's a lot of good things. You can have 300 books. I've got like about 300 books on my ebook reader on my tablet.
And that's a lot of space saving as well, isn't it? Because 300 books
Absolutely.
will be a few
Oh, yeah.
bookcases. So
Yeah, yeah, and you can search if you want to find something. You can search for it a lot easier.
yeah.
A passage or something like that. Whereas a book, you're like, oh, where is it? Where is it? Flipping through the pages, that there's like search engines. And
There's
things, or
definitely swings and
bookmarket.
roundabouts, whether it's a book or an ebook, isn't it? There's definitely pros and cons.
Yeah, and of
Sure.
course a book is $20
Mm.
or
Mm.
more, 30, 40 sometimes.
Ebooks usually about $4 or $5 or something like that.
Well, they're more expensive now. If you're
Yeah,
a good author,
yeah.
they're about $12.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but why not? They're only about $5.
But you are a good author.
But you
We
are,
know
yeah.
that. Yeah, but I'm not, Stephen King or J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I mean.
you never know. Someone might be there out there and give you that break. That
You
know,
never know.
Yeah.
That's
'cause
right.
We know J.K. Rowling's story, how she struggled and
Yeah.
how she became what she is now. Like it wasn't easy for her.
No.
Yeah.
But 5 books on, you must be very proud and congratulations on taking that leap of faith.
I am.
And I
very
mean, so
proud,
many people
thank
would
you.
have benefited from
And
reading
Yeah.
your books.
publishing is, it's huge. And
Yeah, it is hard. I don't recommend it for everybody because you have to be a bit techie
Mm.
to know what you're doing on the computer and things. And so I think that's why a lot of people like to go with traditional publishers, because
Yeah.
they do it all. And they just say, which cover do you like? This, or this. You do have a say. It's
Yeah.
just limited.
Yeah.
In a lot of things,
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming in. We really appreciate it.
That's all right.
And yeah, I'll definitely. I think my favorite book cover will be Justice. I think that was
It is
just
the
a huge.
best, yeah.
So check
It's
out
the best
Amazon,
cover.
folks.
Yeah.
Great time of year, great Christmas present. Everyone loves a book.
And georgiatingly.com.au, is it?
Yes,
Or
yep.
.com?
Yep, just .com.
.com. And do you
Yeah.
have a Facebook page as well? Or
Yeah, Georgia Tingly's as well.
cool. So
Nice.
check her out. Go and buy some of her books, especially coming up to Christmas. It's a really good present to buy someone that's a reader. And yeah, thank you very much for coming in. It's
Been
been a
fabulous.
pleasure.
All right,
Been
I've
great
enjoyed it
having you.
heaps. Thank you.